Good morning. It's good to see your face. I hope you're doing well today. Our theme this week is Pond Week. So I'll start off by reading you a story about the pond, okay? So the title is called Over and Under the Pond, okay? And we see them in a little boat on top of the pond, and then we see fun things that are happening underneath the pond, okay? So we're gonna learn a little bit about both. Over the pond we slide, splashing through lily pads, sweeping through reeds. See the lily pads? Frogs tend to like to hang out on lily pads. The water's a mirror reflecting the sky, sunshine and clouds, then a shadow below. What's down there, I ask. Under the pond, Mom says. Under the pond is a whole hidden world of minnows and crayfish, turtles and bullfrogs. We're paddling over them now. Over the pond, we skim past the tall rushes. Whirligig beetles loop and twirl, skaters on a warm summer surface. Under the pond, minnows dart through the waving forest of grass, while a brook trout lurks, ready to lunge. Look at that. He is ready. This is the trout, ready to get all of those little minnows swimming through. Over the pond, we lift and dip and pull past a row of painted turtles on a tree. 1, 2, 3. They slip off and away. Splash, gurgle, sploosh. Under the pond they go. So the turtles were over the pond, and then they go under the pond. Over the pond, cattails rustle and shush in the wind. Listen close. Cucklaree. Red-winged blackbirds race by. One has grass for her nest that she's going to build. Under the pond, a catty fish builds a home for her new own secret shelter with pebbles and sand. Here it is down in the bottom, building its shelter of pebbles and sand, and look at the nest that's being built by the birds. So beautiful. Under the pond, beavers dip and dive. They pump with their powerful tails and rise to the surface with delectable roots of mud. Look at that. That beaver is swimming deep. Under the pond, an otter claws for fresh water mussels. Down here they are. Do you see their shells? All right. Over the pond, the shadows stretch as birds spread their wide wings. Raccoons and mink stalk the shoreline for supper. Under the pond, with a flip of a tail, a crayfish disappears in the dark. You see the raccoons right above there, huh? Over the pond, we head for home. We glide, swish, and bump right up onto the shore as far off loon calls goodnight. The sky turns from sunset to dusk to dark. Night settles over the pond. The prowling catfish and drowsy turtles, the scuttling crayfish and tadpoles turn to frogs, wading heroines and stalking raccoons. Everybody's getting sleepy. And the hidden world under the pond goes to sleep. All right, lots of details about a pond. So what we can do, if you want to go further with the pond, and I'll attach the picture of these frogs, okay, to the link, okay? And you can cut out your frogs, and if you have a paper plate, you can paint it all blue like this, and this will be your pond, okay? If you have some green construction paper, you can make some little lily pads, okay? The way I did that was I cut a circle and then just a little triangle out of the center, and then you can cut some little pieces of grass that go on the outside of your pond. And then when you're ready to build your pond, you'll take some glue, okay? And you'll glue the edges, and let's add a few strips of grass so you can kind of see where I'm going with this, okay? And you can put grass all the way around your pond, okay? And it doesn't have to look perfect because usually grass that's near a pond is tall and very uneven, so it doesn't have to look like perfect grass. It can just look like tall and short and wide. This is definitely a project that doesn't need to be perfect. All right, that grass does not want to stay for me. I'm sorry, let me add a little more glue there for you. Oh, I'm taking grass away instead of adding to it, Miss Kristen. All right, so I'll add my grass along the edge, and next you would want to add your lily pads, okay? So you You can cut as many as you would like, and you can put a little glue on the back of your lily pad, okay? Because I don't know if in the story you remember, but it was showing how lily pads floated on top of the water. And this is a good spot for frogs to come and sit on, and they kind of like to get in the sun, and then they hop back in the water. So you could place lily pads all over your pond, and then you would take your frogs, and I would color them before I started. So you can color your frogs whatever color you want them to be. You can make them green like a typical frog, or there's always those tropical looking frogs when you go to the zoo and you look through the little glass, and you sometimes see red frogs or orange frogs. So you can really paint or color your frog whatever you would like. But put a little glue on the back of your frog, and you can either place it on the lily pad like it's sunning in the sun, or you can put it right in the water, because the frogs are over the pond and under the pond, like the book we were reading. But when you finish, you can have a nice grass surrounded pond with some lily pads in the center and some froggies on your lily pads if you decide to do so. All right, thank you so much. Have a great day. Goodbye.